and commercialization consultant at City St. George's University of London, since we have merged with another medical school now. And I work with researchers in their, like from the time that actually they apply for funding, and that not only when the research output is ready, but I work with them from the very beginning, work with them when the research output is ready, strategizing what IP we need to put in place, and then developing the product. And it takes a while to do it. And universities have always been a center for creating knowledge and disseminating it in the form of teaching mostly. But as we go into this modern age, we see more and more IP commercialization happening through the universities, because unlike the companies, which are they have their R&D, but their R&D are very focused towards the business. But universities are the one which can do blue sky research and at the same time do the applied research. So it's very important to recognize universities at the center of idea generation. So here I was looking at the university and the commercialization factors that we see in our today's world. So we all know that Google came out of Stanford University. This drink called Gatorade, this is one that PepsiCo actually PepsiCo sells nowadays. And this is for sports endurance training. And this has been developed in the University of Florida. CRISPR, as we know, came out of University of California, Berkeley. And COVID vaccine, Oxford had a role to play. AstraZeneca was taking that to the market. So there is always a company and a academia engagement. Then, yeah, there were a few more examples. One I could find from Pune University, and this was about Reva. And I thought that I will bring to light those. There were a few more, and sorry, I couldn't get the logos right, so I couldn't put. So there's always been this interactions and collaboration going on between the university and academia and industry, and to take the IP from the university to the world. During the IP life cycle, this is something what it looks like. So ideation is the one when I requested you to write your invention or your idea in a document, or whatever you have been thinking but you have not implemented. Especially for students, I will tell you are full of ideas. While we go to the academics, they are bound by their academic duty of teaching. Their research time is very limited. There are other things to think about. But for you, you are bubbling with ideas, lots of. So do concentrate on them. So the next phase is about the concept development and protection. Here it's when you think about what is needed for this invention to be beneficial to others. So you either do the experiments in the lab and get the results. If you fail, that's not a problem, because failures are the stepping stone of success. You account for it, because if you account for what actually step you did wrong, you can tell somebody, and that is also your IP. That is your something called know-how. So keep that failures also somewhere noted in your lab book, because that will save somebody else's time. Intellectual property is something that you bring it up from your intellect, and which can have some added value. It can have commercial value. It can save somebody's time. So those are all accounted for. And this is the phase when you think about what protection to accord. So not everything has to be patented, and patents are costly. So we have to think that how we can be more, we can be more creative about it. But patent at the same time are essential, because they are the ones which give you that right to stop somebody from using what is yours. Copyright, trademark. The trademark, of course, will give you that originality, but would not give the value that a patent can give you. So patents are important, but you have to see how far your research has gone, if it's inventive, if it has the obviousness test done, and it has industrial applicability. And then comes the stage when we think, okay, everything is right, okay, and we are very happy that the results are good. Now we are out in the market to commercialize it. So commercialization is a phase when you are going out and offering it to the market. It can be different routes. I'll come to that later in my slides. But this is a whole life cycle. Whatever commercialization happen, usually there is a gain, monetary gain. Other gains are also there. But this monetary gain can again be pulled back and invested in the idea creation or proof of concept funding. So this is a whole cycle that goes on. And technology transfer process. So the middle part that we saw earlier, so this one where the concept development protection was happening, that's when the technology transfer process has kicked on. So first is, of course, the idea generation and technology, as we say that we cannot raise a child, like it takes a village to raise a child. Similarly, it takes several people in a team to have a successful commercialization efforts. And there are various roles. So while the technology development is happening, when you are doing, you have the idea, you have validated the concept, you have prepared a small version of it to show others, like, see, this is working. Or if you are in the pharmaceutical sector, of course, there is other testing that needs to be done. There is permission that you need from the government and the authority. Or you have to test it with human subjects or animals. So those things are going on. In a similar parallel way, you have to have working with some lawyer or somebody like the background like Vijay has. So they can understand what is the market potential, what is the intellectual property protection that you need for your invention, and what is the commercial strategy that needs to be in place, the market engagement. I cannot stress enough on this market engagement and commercial strategy early on, not coming to the whole prototype and then starting it all. So this looks very, very linear, so it seems like one step comes after another, but it's never like that. So I'll come to the next slide, which will show uh, this is how it happens. So there is always something going on. The stages are coming back. Then you go to the next step. There is failure. You come back. There is no money. Then you wait for the funding. So this is a process, and at times it can take at least from 3 to 10 years to bring a product into the market or have successful commercialization of research. So we have projects which started like 15 years back, and we might be doing it now with just 5 years to our patent portfolio left, like the term left. So that it depends. So early on, you start working, the better it is, and it's okay to fail. Actually, if it's better to fail early, like if you had a lot of hope for the technology, but the technology didn't work, you can't do. You go back to the desk, work on it, come back again. So this always keeps on working. So of course, very broadly speaking, invention, protection, and commercialization are the distinctive stages, but a lot goes on while things are happening. And as a technology transfer professional, I have to be like a person of many hats, but I'm not expert in anything. So I'm the connector. I have to connect people. I have to connect where the problem is happening and plug the gaps, I think. So here, now, whatever you have written down in your about your research idea, I want you to do this exercise with me. Start with the why, right? Why do you think you want to commercialize your IP? Is it the impact it can cause to the society and the economy? Or is it solving a problem? But over here, you should be careful. You should not have a solution and then go searching for a problem. It has happened to me. Like we had an example of course, I work with some cybersecurity researchers also. We developed a technology which was far ahead of time. And the problem was there, but nobody was looking for the solution right then. So it's not like that you have a solution, then look for a problem. Better go the other way around. You have the problem, you recognize there is a problem, and find the solution for it. That way, it is the market feed that you will get. Money, yes, of course, why not? Money drives everything. Why shouldn't money be a factor for driving commercialization? And if you see, like the example I've gave you for that drink which PepsiCo is selling, Gatorade, it has this. I think in this year it had a revenue of 250 million US dollars. So that type of thing also happens when it is taken up by private institution. There's lots of value that they provide for those. And here it is. That's what I want you to think about. Why my invention is beneficial to other. That's the question. Start with the why. So why do you think somebody would actually use your invention? So, for example, if you see Airbnb, the value proposition is that they connect community, right? For Uber, it's the smartest way to get around. For Tata Motors, driving innovation and sustainability. I cannot, for Tata Motors, the way that EV vehicles are coming from their workshops, it's wonderful. Reliance Jio or affordable high-speed data for everywhere. So everyone and everywhere rather. Even if you go to the remotest corner of India, you have the Jio signals over there. Amul, taste of India, fresh from the farm. Even in UK, we don't get cheese and milk and milk products as nice as Amul, but I may be quite biased. That's different. Zomato discover food around you. So I want you to think, you don't think about the slogan, or that's a different thing, but I want you to think that what benefit that you are providing with your research to the masses. So, and put some, what I say, figures to it, like we say about SMART goals. There should be something like measurable, specific. So you can say my research will cut down medicine use by 40%, or there is only once a day dossier that I am building up, or the herbal medicine will replace what do you say, the pharmaceutical medicine. So something of that sort which has that type of value to it. Um, Sorry, I won't wait for the exercise. Please do it in your own time, but that's what most important, to see that why it's beneficial. Then this is the next thing that I really want everybody to think about, especially researchers. As researchers and academics, we are quite at times bound in our own labs. So please go out and talk to the people whom you are going to, for whom you are developing the product. So if it's a customer, if it's somebody having some ailments, go and talk to them what problem they have, why a new solution is important. Talk to the manufacturers. So when there are seminars, go and ask this question, hear them out in those seminars, webinars, whatever is possible. Do some research, desk research, sit on your Google and ChatGPT is wonderful. Go and have a research that, okay, this is my idea. Who others are working in that place? So that's a bit of the market discovery that you are doing. Visit trade shows. I cannot recommend this enough. In UK, we are now having a program from the government where they sponsor the early career researchers, especially master students and doctoral students, to go out in the trade shows and test their idea, talk to the people in the trade shows. Trade shows are like, it can be an exhibition. It's not a conference. It's some form of exhibition, or where industries are there to see what people think about your idea. But at the same time, be careful not to talk a lot about your invention, because this is not protected. So you should have some form of writing which will talk to people or tell people what you are working on. At the same time, will preserve your secret sources or secret or know-how which you do not want others to know, and identify different markets. So, of course, I have to look at the ideas that you have, but don't be restricted to one field only. So if you think this is very much concentrated in pharmaceutical, but think of 4 or 5 other market that you can take the product to. I'll give you an example when I will tell you about a case study that I'm working on, and how it's important to be very broad in your approach for any research commercialization. The next stage is route to the market. So, traditionally speaking, and very bookishly, licensing and spin-outs are the 2 ways. So what we mean by licensing, so you have a product, you have a prototype. Now you approach the manufacturer or the companies and tell, okay, we can give you a permission to use our technology. And against that, you are supposed to give us some returns. The returns can be a one-off payment of fees, or the returns can be a percentage of whatever they are selling. So the licensing deals are made that way. it's a long process. It's not so easy. The negotiation is important. Then IP valuation is very important at this stage, like what somebody would provide, what value somebody would accord to it. There are processes where you can do the valuation. I think, I mean, if you're interested, look around. There are things on the internet, but of course, there are professionals who work on this every day. That's best to use them. And then the other way is spin out creation, where you form a company around this intellectual property. So it's like a startup. And the journey is, of course, very, very fulfilling because, like I have been a chemist in my when I did my master's. The happiness when you get that crystallization of the first crystal, that's the happiness when you see that you have formed a company and you are raising money, you are selling it to the customers. So those are the two factors. But I would also encourage you to think about consultancy. Consultancy is a way when you are actually providing some feedback to the industry on the area that you are working with or working on, that can be costed in the way that your time is costed. The advantage is that you get exposure to the industry or the companies that you can work with. It can help in student placements. It can help in getting more work or future collaborative project, because they would know that what your what I say, the important area of work that you have. And also joint ventures. Working with industry is good. Like they have better potential to bring a product to the market quickly than academia can. And as academics, we are very, very modest. We always think what we have done is not enough. We need to do more. We need to do more testing. We need to have more results, but it's not always required. So I would like you all to keep mind, and of course, again, work with somebody who knows this area, and that's way it's beneficial. So initially we started with why we need to commercialize. And this is where we are thinking about what is the incentives of IP commercialization. Of course, financial rewards comes quite early on. So if the industry is taking on the license to the IP, and they can have a revenue sharing model with you. So revenue sharing means whatever they are earning out of using their IP, they will give it back to the university, and the university can have a IP policy in place. Accordingly, they will reward the inventors back, like who have been in the research. Career advancement and recognition, this again, it's the university's policy who can recognize that, okay, this person has been very outright and engaged with the commercialization, and they can be rewarded as a promotion or some form of recognition. Impact on the society, that I cannot recommend enough. Like the amount of projects that come out of university and make a product is huge, and that creates a impact story. So in UK, we have something called Research Excellence Framework that we have to report every 4 to 5 years. And in that, the government wants us to show what the research has happened, what the impact it has created. And the best way to show this impact is through the commercialization, where we have licensed to somebody and they have actually gone out and did the marketing business, and it's easier to do it. Again, I cannot suggest more about industry collaboration and networking. Please go out in those type of in conferences or exhibitions that is related to your area, and talk to the people who are there. Mostly you will find sales guy, but at times if you are lucky and if your technology is catchy, I think you would be able to go to the people who are at the top and who is interested. Do LinkedIn, use LinkedIn enough. I do not use it, but I do suggest everybody to promote yourself through LinkedIn, make the connection. And overall, there is a personal satisfaction that whatever you have invented in the lab is now in the shelf of a shop, or somebody is selling it through their website. And again, as academic, we all like to share knowledge. And this is a way of education and sharing knowledge transfer. And it helps in also teaching, which is now becoming evidence-based more and more. So coming to this, okay. I've been quite quick, I think. So coming to this, I would like to share some of the case studies that I'm working on. And these are like various type of intellectual property. Some has patents as their core. So Levister is a smart energy company where they are harnessing the alternative source of, like, they are renewable energy sources. And we have been working on the Levister project for around 5-10 years. We in between collaborated with another company which helped us to develop it a bit further, but something happened and then Levister was formed as a spin out. And they are doing good. They are, because renewable energy is the buzzword now, they are getting a lot of funding from the government. This is based on a patent. And as I told, like, it took 5 to 10 years to bring it to the market. So it's hard, at least for products. And Hydroderm is the project that I'm supporting now. And I was talking about this project where we went to 5 markets. So we had the sports market, we had the healthcare markets, and we had cosmetics, and 2 more I can't remember. Okay, veterinary, and some other one more was there. So this project, they consist of a sensor which measures the body hydration. So if you are getting dehydrated, and at times we do not know that we are dehydrated until we had that severe thirst, and might be it's for common people who are doing desk job and within the house, doesn't matter, but people who are in the field especially, or people who are running marathons and all, it becomes very important, especially for sports, where for every drop it's important. It's very important. So we went to all those markets. We actually attended all those trade shows, talked to those people, and gathered data. And we thought that the wearable market, where it is being used for sports, especially elite sport, it was important. And now we are developing this product as a single band wearable. And we'll go to the healthcare market, but healthcare market, especially healthcare, is when we are talking about testing it with in medical surrounding. It has a lot of norms that we have to cross before we bring it to the market. So something is called beachhead market, and our beachhead market is now the wearable market, and we will be launching it in the next 1 or 2 years. There's lots of work to do in that. So it's a journey. So when I got the project, it was all about what they have done in the research. Then I had a strategy about how to protect the IP. So they have a patent application. And then we have registered the domain name. So the Hydradum, whatever you see, is a brand name we are using. And the domain name is the website we have, whatever in the website, it's important. And we are collecting Google Analytics to see who are the ones who are interacting with the website. And we are interacting with the manufacturers to make that watch. So this is a whole lot of work that is going on behind the scenes. Then I would also like you to talk about City Access. This is a very, very light touch product. It is a copyright product. So this is some resources for patients who has stroke and who cannot talk. So the whole research group is about those patients, and the academics have through their research, their output is all about questionnaires that the clinicians, speech and language therapists, can use. So they have been using it with the speech and language therapies. Until last 2 years, there was a pharmaceutical company who wanted to use it for clinical trials, and we started licensing it to them. So this is how the mindset goes, and with interaction and exposure, there are opportunity that comes your way. So yes, please start with the why and think what you want to do with the commercialization. Seek help. This is not academic cannot do it all alone. You need those IP lawyer. You need those market research groups to help you out with it. Need those connectors, business advisors, if you can have a route, and also investor when the money needs to be there. And of course, the institute has to help you with the funding. There has to be somebody in the government thinking, okay, this is important, and all together it's quite like a collaboration that needs to go ahead. Yes, I think I have come to the end of my